dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
From a spring-like feel to snow on the ground in just a few hours, a late-season winter storm is moving in overnight. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has more on what to expect heading into the weekend with a winter storm warning in effect for everyone. Evan?
That's right, Steve. Everyone under that winter storm warning goes into effect late tonight, running through early tomorrow afternoon, and even late tomorrow afternoon in some cases. Outside right now, the clouds are working into the region. You see the turbulence in the skies as that cold front continues to push through the area. We were at 64 not long ago at London Corbin Airport. We're now sitting at just 59 degrees. Downtown Whitesburg, clouds moving in there as well. We're still in the 60s there, though, sitting at 62. Pine Mountain already at 57. It's 54 in Wise, but look out to the west. Monticello diving now into the low 50s. 45 in Lexington. It's 35 already in Louisville. So that cold air is continuing to push through the area, or push into the area, as that cold front works through the region. You're going to know it because you're going to feel the winds shift from warm southwesterly direction to a cold northwesterly direction. And at times we're seeing winds of 15 to 20 miles per hour. And that will continue to push into the mountains heading into tonight. Already seeing a few showers start to work into portions of the Cumberland Valley, the Kentucky River Valley. Look out to the west. We've already seen reports of heavy snow in southern Indiana and even some reports of thunder snow not far from Little Rock. So this is all heading in our direction as we head into tonight. We're down into the middle 20s overnight. Rain changes to snow, and that snow could be heavy at times, overcoming the warm ground temperatures to start accumulating faster. I'll have the latest coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thanks. When people hear that winter weather is heading our way, many automatically rush to the grocery store to pick up milk and bread. But this influx in shoppers can also cause several issues for grocery store owners and employees. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to some of them to see how they are preparing for this weekend's winter storm.
Grocery stores across the region are preparing for the increase in shoppers on Friday.
We ordered extra product for the things that we thought that would go fast off the shelf.
Staple items like bread, milk, and eggs are some of the products people stock up on before bad weather hits. But Eric McCarty with Dawn's Super Saver in Harlan says they are having trouble keeping other things in stock.
We open more registers and we make sure the shelves are stocked completely, all the shelves of all the stuff we have. But we have seen a shortage of some things.
McCarty says due to supply chain issues, they're having trouble keeping a lot of frozen food on the shelves.
Pizza and biscuits and frozen stuff, a lot of frozen things, French fries. We've seen a shortage in that too.
McCarty says in addition to stocking up on your staple items, it's best to pick up products that do not have to be refrigerated in case your power goes out.
Things like beanie weenies and Viney sausages and potted meat, stuff you don't have to cook. You know, stuff that you can just open up and eat. That would be my recommendation instead of buying a bunch of frozen stuff.
So when you are out shopping for you and your family before any snow comes our way, be patient with grocery stores if they do not have your go-to items on the shelves.
The supply chain issue is really causing a lot of problems with small stores like mine.
Keeping everyone up to date before they head to the grocery store to stock up. Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
Not only is it important to be patient with grocery store workers, but it's also important to keep in mind the needs of other families before stocking up on one particular item. The U.S. is feeling some fallout from the war on Ukraine, mainly in the form of gas prices. Prices are up to more than $4 in many places. That's the highest they've ever been. Take a look at prices in Mount Sterling. Gas is $4.29 a gallon there at the Marathon. It's one of the highest we've seen in our region in the last week. The owner of the gas station says it's higher than others in town because of when they ordered it. He expects it to hit around $5 sometime next week. One Prestonsburg safe space is feeling a bit shaken after vandals hit this week. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more from the owner of Open Doors Counseling Center, who says the center will clean up and rise up while waiting for answers.
Kyle May brought his center to Prestonsburg to fill a need.
There are not enough providers who are able to provide competently affirming LGBTQ resources.
Providing counseling, therapy, and mental health treatments to the community. A space for everyone, with a specialty in LGBTQIA+ services.
This space allows people to flourish into who they truly are and live their authentic lives.
But that safe space took a hit this week when employees found the building had been egged.
The message it sent to us was scary, that someone here in the community would do something like that.
Reeling with emotions and hopeful that it does not discourage the center's clients from gathering, May took to Facebook to find answers, saying the vandalism just does not fit with the folks he has grown to love.
The reason that I chose Prestonsburg is because whenever I lived here and I worked here for several years, I felt a very welcoming environment, and I knew that Open Doors Counseling Center would succeed and thrive here.
Those neighbors and supporters have since shared words of encouragement and support.
Whenever I saw that people were responding to the call of action, it just reinforced what I believed.
So with no video footage to see what happened and no leads, the community is pushing for answers.
They are sharing the information on Facebook. They're talking to people within the community to find out who did the egging. And we've even had people who are offering to put up a reward for information.
But in the meantime, those at the center do not plan to walk on eggshells.
This is not going to scare us away. If anything, it's going to make me double or triple my efforts to make sure that LGBTQ affirming resources are in Eastern Kentucky and will stay here.
So they stand firm with a waving flag and open doors. In Prestonsburg, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Anyone with information regarding the egging is asked to contact the Prestonsburg Police Department. The House passes a bill to promote bourbon tourism and clear some red tape around private barrel selection programs. House Bill 500 overwhelmingly passed today. It creates guidelines for distillers to sell exclusive bottles of bourbon on site and nowhere else. The bill also puts limits on how much can be sold. Lawmakers say it's a win-win for Kentucky and works for the state's Distillers Association and wholesalers. The bill now heads to the Senate. A recent study from the United Kingdom shows just how similar Eastern Kentucky and our neighbors across the pond are when it comes to COVID-19. WYMT's Dakota Makris explains.
Researchers are studying how the pandemic has impacted the coal fields of South Wales and Eastern Kentucky.
You guys have got very famous coal fields, and it's been one of the most important coal fields in the US. And we just felt it had a real similarity with what we've got in Wales.
Some of the similarities show how people in South Wales and Eastern Kentucky feel about COVID-19 and vaccinations, saying former coal fields of South Wales saw a larger number of COVID cases. Now, researchers are comparing those numbers to Appalachia.
A very short research project. It's only 6 months, so we've had to do things very, very quickly.
People live much closer together in South Wales, but not in Eastern Kentucky, where people live further apart and away from health services. Researchers saying that may have an impact on access to vaccines.
You've got working coal fields, whereas ours have been closed since the 1990s, really. And I think the legacy of that industry in South Wales has led to a lot of deprivation, and we weren't sure really if that applied here as well.
A well-known Eastern Kentucky public health director visited South Wales.
I had the opportunity while I was over there to visit with some public health school nurses. School nursing is very important in what we do in public health, and looking at the similarities, the differences, what they're doing there.
Bringing home valuable tools to implement in Eastern Kentucky.
Relationship and working together is key. Partnerships are where it's at. Now I have partnerships in Wales.
In Perry County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
The information and numbers from the study will be released in the next few weeks. The researchers wanted to thank the British Academy for this opportunity. It's time to get a little nostalgic as the early 2000s are coming back to Kentucky. The Pop 2000 tour, hosted by Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC, is coming to the Corbin Arena. Along for the tour will be Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray, O-Town, LFO, Ryan Cabrera, and David Cook. The concert is planned for Friday, August 19th. Tickets go on sale next week at 10 a.m. You can get the tickets at the Corbin Arena or online. Big Blue Nation is taking over Tampa tonight. Kentucky fans are getting ready for the Wildcats' first game of the SEC tournament against Vandy in about 2 hours. Brian Milam has a preview of the game in our Big Blue coverage.
Hello from Tampa. You know, it's not often UK basketball has to wait this long to play in the SEC tournament, but Kentucky has to wait a few more hours before they meet the Vanderbilt Commodores, and the Big Blue Nation hopes they don't see a lot of, at least in a positive manner, Vanderbilt's Scottie Pippen Jr. The guy has just killed Kentucky by himself, but in the past, he has not had a lot of help around him. I've mentioned in the past that he scored 32 and 33 points this year against UK, but what makes him so difficult to contain?
He's really crafty. And then offensively, when he gets going, whether it's shooting threes, he's a great layup shooter. You know, he creates space. He snakes in on pick and rolls. You know, he's really a crafty player with that ball.
Cal has stressed over the last several weeks he wants his guys to have fresh minds and fresh bodies. The physical part will take some time to see over the next couple of days. The mental part we will know right off the jump if the Cats are ready to take on Vandy and avoid the upset fate of Florida and Auburn already in this tournament. In Tampa, I'm Brian Milam, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Brian, looks like the weather's perfect down there. You can watch the game tonight around 8:30 on the SEC Network. We'll have more from Tampa later in sports.
Snow, potentially heavy at times, looks to be on the way as we head into tonight. I've got the full breakdown on the way next with our winter storm warning in effect.